The key difference between Splinterlands and any other standard online collectible tradable card game is the fact that you can actually earn in-game. Those earnings can be translated to real-life money. More than 7 years later, since Splinterlands has been going that long, we find ourselves at a key point where some decisions need to be made as far as what is being earned in-game and how to stretch that out or end it possibly to keep the game going. So if you're interested in diving in and hearing about how the SPS token is handed out in-game or allotted and what's on the table as far as decisions that need to be made, please stand by. Hey everyone, welcome back. Bronze Dragon here saying thanks for dropping by. As always, I appreciate the time you spend with me. Let's go ahead and dive in. I wanted to go ahead and get this episode out because this is a very important topic. I don't cover tokenomics that much because I'm not the best at math. I mean, every time I put math into a video, I do it like 5 times to make sure I'm correct, but I felt this needed to be broached. Okay, let's start off at step 1. For those that are new to the game, okay, basically you can earn SPS in the game as winnings and also for staking SPS and a few other things, right? But the SPS in game is not handed out by the company that makes the cards and things like that. It is actually controlled by a separate organization. You may have heard of it. It's been referred to as the DAO, or Decentralized Autonomous Organization. Okay, I kind of like to think about it more as like a separate little company or a bank that holds the purse strings to all the funds that are used for Splinterlands, okay? And there's a bunch of different legal and financial reasons why they split it down the middle. In other words, the company is not in charge of the money, basically, okay? We've got a full-time employee that is paid by the DAO. You may have seen him around on chat. Claiborne does a great job. Great with numbers, the kind of person you would want to be, in charge of that. That has really been shaping up the DAO over the last year or so since he's been working on it. But with that said, the DAO handles all the SPS and the finances for the game, really. And the company that actually does the cards and develops the cards and plays the game actually works as a third-party contractor to the DAO. That's why sometimes you see things come up for a vote that says, hey, we want to have a mini set come out. And then within that vote, it asks, well, okay, all the funds are going to go to the DAO. Or half of the funds are going to go to the company and half of the funds are going to go to the DAO. However, it's split so that people can understand what they're voting on and vote for it. But that entity controls how the SPS is used in game, how it's handed out, and a number of other things, right? And the fact that you actually have SPS staked in the game gives you a vote on the DAO. Okay, when the DAO puts these things up, questions up for a vote, you have a vote for it. Obviously, the more SPS you have staked, the more weight your vote carries. Okay, so I wanted to start out there for those that are new in the crowd, okay, because I didn't want you to feel kind of left out. This is one of those things that you have to get into the game, and it kind of you just have to learn as you go, right? So with that said, we are at a turning point in the game, and I want to go through an article on the Hive blog that Claiborne posted a few days ago. I'm not going to read it all because it's fairly long. As always, I will post the link in the show notes if you want to go through it. But I want to hit some highlights and give, put this idea in your head and see, so when this comes up for a vote, you are a little bit better informed. Okay, let me preface this before I go into what Claiborne has to say. The reason why he is saying this, and this is forward-looking, we don't have that much time. Basically, the SPS that's allotted in the different pools for rewards in the card game is soon going to be run out. And each of these pools they start at different timings, so they'll run out at different rates. And he's got a chart here that I want to take a look at. But that's really what this is all about. How do we move forward? And right here, I will say that the game really needs those reward pools because that's the whole reason to buy cards and play the game, right? Obviously, it's a fun game, right? But most of us are in there for making rewards and doing various things for that. So let's go ahead and dive in. What's the problem? Well, first of all, the headline is a sustainable solution for SPS rewards. The SPS DAO is nearing the next phase of its life cycle, a post-white paper distribution phase. That means that we've went through more than 7 years and it's past what the white paper foresaw and had dictated, right? This is a good thing as it means that the SPS DAO and Splinterlands have been able to outlast many other projects on Web3. Face it, 7 years, more than 7 years now, is a long time for any game, let alone Web3. How many Web3 games lately have you heard being turned off? I could probably name half a dozen right off the top of my head, right? So like I said, this is basically why he's putting this out now, because he's preparing. He wants to get ahead of it, not wait until it gets too much closer. So then he goes ahead and says, well, what's the solution? Okay. Obviously, he doesn't have control of that. What he manages it, but the whole DAO as an organization votes on it, and then he goes with what the vote says, and that's where it goes. So he talks about the whole idea of exponential decay. And what that means is if you're going to be handing out something, okay, basically at a certain point, it just runs out. But if you adjust the rate at which it's handed out and say it just decays 1% per month or whatever it is, right? So basically as it goes down, it will never run out because it'll be 1% of 100, but then it goes down to 99. So it's only 1% of 99 and then 1% of 98 and etc. So the whole idea is whatever percentage they pick or is voted upon, it goes down it decays by that amount, but it just will never run out. It's just what you earn off the game in various pools will just keep getting smaller and smaller and smaller. So that's the whole idea of exponential decay. And he talks about that. Let me go ahead and blow this screen up a little bit. Okay. So here are the different pools we're talking about. And when you're playing the game, each one of these items, if you're taking part in the game, draws from a different pool of rewards. So we have staking rewards, which is when you stake SPS, that's that daily amount you can go ahead and claim. It's like a bank account. You earn a little bit of interest on the SPS you have claimed. And we talked about that last week because there was an idea that was floated out there. It didn't pass through the first phase because a lot of people felt it was more of a band-aid fix for it instead of a full fix. So a lot of people are probably happy at this point that a full-fledged idea has come out of that, right? We have brawls. So if you take place, if you are part of the guild brawls, which I tell everybody, as soon as you get in the game, you got to get in a guild to start in the brawls because you can get a lot of it, really improve your deck out of that. Land. If you're on the land game, we talk about that from time to time. Licenses and validators. Those I'm not going to dig in deep, but those are high dollar items which you can support the infrastructure using those as well as earn off of them. They have their separate rewards pools. Modern, wild, and tournaments. Pretty self-explanatory. If you're playing in Modern League, then what you get out of winning and placing on a season-by-season basis comes out of this pool. And wild, same thing. Tournaments, this is the pool for tournaments. Now, they show the ending dates. Some of these, you have June or July. Staking will end in July 2026 next year if nothing's done. Okay, so if nothing's done, there will be no staking rewards after July 2026 of next year. 2026 is next year. Brawls looks like it has a nice long time, so it's slated past 2030, depending, because it's handed out a much lower rate. You have land and license will expire in June of 2028. You have validators. That pool will last until 2030. Modern and wild and tournaments. Modern and Wild, July 2026 of next year, and December of next year. Okay, so that shows you that a lot of these are set to expire. And I would say the ones that are more heavily used, staking, everybody uses it, right? Modern, Wild, you get my idea, right? So the whole idea is that these are getting ready to expire and we need to do something about it. So he goes in and floats the idea of putting in exponential decay. In other words, start reducing it by a certain percentage over time so that the rewards just never run out. They just go down a certain amount each year. And we're talking about over, 10 years. So if it can make, If it could make it another 10 years, that would be excellent. But by that point, the rewards are going to be very small. But take a step back and understand that theoretically and hopefully by that point, the SPS value has went up and price has went up, right? So that's the whole idea. If we're still around at that point, and you may only be making a tenth of what you are now, but it's still worth as much or more than you're making right now because the value of the SPS token has went up. So next up, he basically throws in another variable because there was 200 million unallocated SPS tokens that were they ended the liquidity pools, and I'm not going to go into that. Don't worry about it if you're new to the game. But there was another route of investing, so to speak, that whereas you could put money and tokens into liquidity pools and earn a percentage off of that. Well, those were ended because I'm not going to dig into that. Either way, there's 200 million SPS tokens that aren't being used and they're just sitting there. So in this next chart, he's proposing that we could use them for something for this purpose with the exponential decay and adding these 200 million tokens and making the changes up front. He's figuring at a 3% decay. We can look at what would happen up front is the staking rewards would go down by about 25%. I'm fine with that. I've always said that I think the staking rewards should maintain because a lot of us like that extra every day on a daily basis. I think myself, if those went away, I would refigure out how much SPS I actually wanted to stake, because the other plus on staking SPS is how much you earn off of each win in either wild or modern, right? But if you're not getting that that daily allotment off of the staking, then you may not want to stake as much. That's what I'm saying. So either way, staking would go down by 25%, but to me, that's I could take that hit to ensure the length of the game, right? Brawls would actually come up to almost 50% extra, to 147%. Land would go down by about 14%. Licenses would go down by about 4%. This is what you're making off of them on a monthly basis, I guess. Validators would actually go up by 28%. And modern, wild, and tournaments would come down by almost 20%. So we're making a change to extend the life of rewards in the game way out. We're going to earn a little bit less now, but it ensures the length of rewards within the game, which is what I think brings people to the game. Obviously, you are brought to the game if you like collectible, tradable card games, right? But a lot of us are here because of what you can earn off the game. Now, the other side of earning is they may change things up because the new Frontier mode has been wildly popular. And the other thing you can earn in the game is cards, or R cards, right? And in Frontier mode, you can actually turn around and sell those cards and make a little bit of profit, right? Well, Frontier mode is really made to be a temporary step until you go into modern and then possibly wild, right? Well, if you step into modern and wild, you can no longer sell the cards that you earn off of playing the game. Instead of that, then your option is earn SPS, and then you earn soulbound cards, which technically you can sell, but to unlock them and resell them I just haven't done it due to the cost. So it's a whole big talking point that once you change over from Frontier, your rewards go from cards that you can sell to SPS that you're winning off of each match. And this is, I fully feel the length of this really needs to be extended as far as possible for us to be able to attract more people. Okay, that's it. Let me know in the comments what you think about the reward system and where we stand, and what do you think should be done with rewards in game. And if you're new to the game and if you have any questions about the reward system, go ahead and drop them in the comments section and we'll try to get back to you. Also, remember, Saturdays, 11:30 Eastern time, we have every Saturday morning stand-up where we talk about Splinterlands for about an hour on YouTube. So check that out. The more, the merrier. Otherwise, this has been Bronze Dragon. I hope everyone on your side is happy and healthy. And once again, I'll see you in Splinterlands.